Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Off the Post. Obviously, as you can see, I am not our normal host, DJ Redcap. He was feeling a little under the weather this morning, today, probably a little too much celebrating, but we'll leave that rest for now. Today, we're going to be reviewing the USA versus Costa Rica match that happened last night. So, as you can see, we have a face we haven't had for a while. Danica, what have you been up to since the last time we had you on?
Well, I've been in Denver for the last 2 months. I probably will be here for another month. So I've just been exploring, kind of checking out the city, and been working a lot. So hence not being here.
So that's what you've been doing. Got that real life going on.
That's
That's
me.
good, 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 good. Well, anyway, if you guys want to get in touch with us, just use the hashtag #WassoOffThePost. We do read all of your tweets. We may not always respond, but we do read them all. So let's get this on the road. What were your initial thoughts heading into the game, and what did you think of the lineup?
Well, I mean, like, we played them, what was it, February last time. I didn't think it would be anything. I mean, Costa Rica's had more time together, so they thought they were going to put on a stronger front, but I didn't think the scoreline, I was guessing 3-0, so I guess they outperformed in that point. With Tobin and Brian out, I wasn't surprised by Haran or Long. And I think everyone has their opinions on all of that, but we can get to that later, or we can do that now. But yeah, so I think they just wanted to try and get a lot of people. I was expecting them to try and get a lot of people like in there, trying to get a lot of movement, because it's still a new team. Like, they still haven't really played together that much compared to like the previous team. And then I was also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I know. I think that they're just gonna try and kind of try and get like their formation down for what they're gonna be trying for the Olympics. It's hard with so many injuries, or so that like you couldn't quite do, but maybe what you will be doing. But I figured, I don't know. I think it wasn't too surprising what they did.
Yeah, for me, again, like you said, it really wasn't much of a surprise with both Tobin and Mo nursing injuries, and not real. Joel's not really having not really having many other options available to her. So it's about what I expected. I think if this game had happened earlier in the year, I would have probably expected to see Listener starting, but this close to the Olympics, it was always going to be Hope Solo. Yeah, it was great to see Carly back in the lineup. Really missed her since she's been out. No other real surprises for me. As for my expectations, I thought maybe a 5-0 at best. So between the two of us, they did about as well as we could have expected. So yeah, not really a surprise. Again, disappointing that it looks like Ali Krieger's pretty much lost her starting spot to Kelly O'Hara, but no, it's Jill Ellis's call, and we're just quote unquote paid to talk about it. We don't make any money from this, so don't get on our cases, everyone. As far as the first half, what did you see from that? What did you like? What did you not like? The usual things we do.
Yeah, so I liked Q. I think that she really did a great job. I think it was a little bit, it's hard to tell too, though, because it is Costa Rica, so you're not necessarily having the same type of pressure, or you're getting more space than you would perhaps in the Olympics. And so with that first goal of hers, I thought she did a great job, but I was also wondering if there were maybe a better goalkeeper, if it would have gone in, or maybe she should have, if it were like a different team, would she have probably been better served off, or better served like passing it along to Carly. But then again, like, that's a lot of speculation, and it's good to see her like so confident and actually doing these shots and actually like going for it. So I really liked that. I didn't really think Haran did that much. Like, I felt like for the first half, I was just kind of like, oh, she's on the field? I don't know. I just wasn't super impressed with her. I thought Carly did a pretty good job. She did a lot. I think she was, like, getting a lot of good footwork. I think she was setting people up. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication sometimes with her and Dunn, but I think in whole, she did a good job. And I think she also did a good job kind of, like, doing the captain role of, like, leading people. Because I think at one point, everyone was like, no, people weren't really pressing, and you could see her being like, what are you, come on, team, like, get up here. So I think that she did a pretty good job with that. Long is I'm so Long is one of those where she's gonna foul out during the Olympics. Like I feel like that's just kind of assumed at this point. But she did some things like she did make some plays, and I guess that was also in the second half. Like she did actually, but when she was doing it, it was kind of like I feel like I was thinking about it as kind of like someone who's a klutz walking down the street where they pull off some amazing saves as they're kind of like scrambling about, but they still eventually get there. Like I feel like she like did it, but just didn't look like it was totally in control and together. So I feel like she still has growth on there. So that's kind of what I was thinking of the first half.
Yeah, for me it was really nice to see Carly get on the scoreboard after being out for so long. Think that'll do wonders for her confidence. Love the captain goal. That was probably my favorite moment of the half. Watching the two captains hooked up. Yeah, as for me, player of the entire game was easily Mallory Pugh. I mean, you could see it. She was so active. Um, on the flank, and the goal that she scored, because if you watch it when she's looking up to pass to Carly, you can see Carly just a fraction offside. And I think for me, Pugh actually recognized that and saw the keeper off her line and decided, oh, she's off the line. I got the space. Carly's offside. I might as well take it for myself. And a little bit lucky for her that it worked, but I think to have that sort of awareness to see this option isn't on, this option is, I better go with this one instead of what would be more obvious. Defense wasn't really tested all that much, as you would expect from Costa Rica. So I would like to see them under a little bit more pressure, like they were against South Africa. See if any of the mistakes from that game had been cleaned up. Yeah, and poor Alex Morgan could not buy a free goal. I
God.
mean, oh, her touch was so far off. I mean, she would be. I counted at least 4 or 5 through balls that she got from Carly or Dunn or Pew Pew that she just hit it wrong and go out for a goal kick or rights at the keeper. So, not the best game for Alex Morgan, but yeah, it was about what I expected. Really good service. I think it was from Pew to Dunn for the first goal as well. So, or was that? I might be confusing that with the South Africa goal. But overall, it was about what I expected in the first half. What were your thoughts on the second half? Substitutions.
Yes. So I think Haran kind of came back and like seemed like she was about to like kind of make more of an impact, but then just couldn't get it in the same. So I was kind of like pretty glad. I was pretty happy when she got subbed out, just because she wasn't doing as much. And then who all went in? Let me see. I liked having Krieger in there. Just seeing, I think O'Hara, but I'm glad they switched O'Hara over so that into Kling out so that they could both be in there. And yeah, with that whole like moving the back line up to be part of the defense, like it's so kind of crazy to have like like for example that Kling pass to Dunn, that was what it was, and it's just like, why is our back line so close to the goal? Like that's kind of weird. But so I guess when we play other teams that would provide that more pressure on our defense, it'll be interesting to see like how they can maintain that like attacking but still defending kind of the whole. Yeah, on a whole, I was glad that Heath and Brian were able to get in and get some touches. Wasn't too surprised about that. I liked that Nair went in so that she could, get her feet under her. And then I feel like, what was it? She actually had probably more action than Hope did. Like, that was very funny. I guess there wasn't anything too surprising by that. I'm trying to think. Who else was there? Was there any other subs I'm forgetting?
Press.
Press. Oh no, I forgot Press. How dare I?
You run for cover, girl.
Oh no. I think that Press is gonna stay as like a super sub. I don't think she's gonna be starting. I think that she can play a couple different roles, and she's good at that. But I think you can go to Jackie's OTP on like her as a super sub or her coming in later instead of starting for more details on that. But yeah, I guess. I mean, like she scored, so good on her. I don't know. I'm not as much into the Press hype. I like her. I think she's a good player, but I don't know. I wasn't too blown away, I guess.
Yeah, for me, the second half, I felt they kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, both because they had the comfortable win, and after what happened in 2008, I think they wanted to get out of there without any injuries. So a lot of pretty much mission accomplished for the whole game, but especially in the second half, they slowed things down. They weren't pressing as much, although they still did get forward. Yeah, Press, as you said, didn't really have much of an impact other than her goal. She had a couple of shots that she either shanked or hit right at the keeper. And as you said, it was good to see. Good to see Tobin and Mo get some touches. We're probably going to need them in Rio, so that was nice to see. And they had a couple of good moments. Something that'll probably, with more time to build on, they'll have some. They'll have the time between now and the opener against New Zealand to work on that. As far as Ali Long, I made it no secret. I'm not a fan of Ali Long at all. Sorry, Long fans, don't come at me. It's just my opinion. I think one of my biggest problems with her is when she starts to get tired in the game, she starts to get lazy. You see her just give up on some plays that she probably wouldn't have in the earlier in the game. So, and if she does that in Rio, that could cost us a game. That could cost us a shot at a medal. So, that's probably one of my biggest concerns with her. And yeah, it was nice to see Alyssa Nair actually have something to do, considering Hope Solo could have brought her favorite book into Mai Tai and sat in a rocking chair, and we still wouldn't have gotten scored on because Costa Rica was poor. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking having Rocky so far up when her bread and butter is in the midfield. It's not being up top. They have other players for that. Like the one she was subbed in for, Venejas, that's her wheelhouse, She scored some pretty good goals before. I think in World Cup qualifying, she had this awesome bike against the minnow, but it was still pretty good. So, yeah, I don't know if they'll try that again, especially not against the United States. But kind of disappointed we didn't get to see more from her or from most of the Costa Rican players until probably late in the game when the U.S. had their foot completely off the gas. So, yeah, second half a little bit more quiet, but again, they got out of there with no injuries, so that was mission accomplished. So, overall thoughts on the game? Were you excited, disappointed?
I guess I was kind of. I wasn't too surprised. Like it wasn't that great of a game. I think that they're still young team. They still have a lot of mental work to get. I think they still have to get used to playing with each other and doing these new set pieces and doing these new kind of formation and style play. And so to me, it's a little bit still too new before the Olympics. I'm kind of nervous about how I would expect them to be a little bit more kind of oiled machine working better, but I guess that's it's hard when you have such a turnaround, so many injuries. It's hard to kind of do that. I mean, and it was also Costa Rica it's hard when trying to get a team before the Olympics, so it's awesome, good thing that Costa Rica was willing to come and play. But I mean, it's also one of those where they're not maybe the best team to try and really work out what you're going to be doing in the Olympics against, just because of where they're at. Yeah, so I guess it wasn't a game that I was what a game. Let me go right home about that one. But I wasn't God, this game's so boring. So I feel it was still a good game, but it just wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, for me it was kind of just excuse me. It was kind of just there, not an instant classic like other games you've seen, but not the most boring game in the world that, again, we've also seen from the U.S. So, like I said, they scored a few goals. They have everybody sort of healthy going into Rio, which is always a plus. Getting a lot of players some minutes, getting players like Carly back to full fitness, which we're kind of going to need because she's probably going to be playing most of, if not all of the minutes in a short period of time. So getting her back to full match fitness is key. So I think we've touched on all the pretty big points. Not the greatest, not the worst. It's just their good send off for the U.S. and now they can go to Rio and fine tune all the things that they need to fine tune. And yeah, hopefully we can come out of Rio and have another gold medal. So looking forward to that. Oh, I think that is it. Unless there's anything you want to add.
Not that I can think of, no.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. This has been another episode of Off the Post. A pretty quick one with only two of us. Pretty much got everything we wanted to say. So, got NWSL games starting in about 10 minutes. So, tune into those. Tune in on Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday when we do our weekly recap of the action. And yeah, we'll see you then. So, gotta do the tradition, put out the hand, wave. Bye bye.